I'm Sean Durney, and I was Principal Arts Officer at St.Helens Council during the early stages of this project. I now work for Liverpool City Council, doing their grants basically for the arts there. Well, I came to this site in, I think it was 2002, and basically there was some sort of early ideas for what to do with the site and to for it to have a leisure use, as a sort of former colliery. I think there was an idea that the community would use the site and its amenities and get something back from, what was a tragic situation that had happened. And I think that's why the Forestry Commission had planted so many trees, and we're basically looking for a focus for the place. So there was some money set aside for public art. It was £200,000 that was sitting on the site, and at the same time St.Helens had lots of ideas about regeneration, and my job as arts officer at the time was to see how that sort of all linked together with arts and creative industries. And what I understood was that there was lots of really creative people in St.Helens, and there was loads of potential, and it wasn't something that you would naturally link with St.Helens as an idea. It had the associations with coal, with glass, and with rugby, not necessarily with art. And I think that's the great thing about the project as well, is that that's changed now, and St.Helens has got a national profile and a platform for its art. And that links back to the regeneration, to the tourism, to the visitor economy. It's a long tale because the site was earmarked for something to happen here, and the Forestry Commission had an idea about public art on the site. There was also a thing called City Growth Strategy, which I think had a glass tower on this site as well as on the M6. And I think those ideas were just sort of bubbling under when Channel 4 came along and were looking for suggestions for sites where the community could get involved, where they might be able to do something new with public art that might be able to change people's perceptions of places and of public art. And I think that's what happened here in St. Helens, is that people who got involved, the miners, had such strong characters and made such a compelling case. They were a really great bunch of lads. They really are salt of the earth. They're really funny, but they're also really clever. And I think that's what turned Channel 4's head towards St. Helens. I mean, they did reject us in the first place as well. We were site number 7 out of 6, and we were all sort of gutted. It was we got the phone call saying that we hadn't been selected, and that was awful, really. But we decided to carry on anyway, and that's when we got Biennial involved. Liverpool Biennial got involved as sort of project managers, and we were going to carry on anyway. There was going to be an artwork on the top of that hill come hell or high water, and Channel 4 came back to us about 6 months later. I said, don't tell me, all your other projects are going slightly skew-if, and you want to come back and follow us. And I said to him, well, we've got twice as much money as we had before. We've got Biennial involved, this is a goer. And they were still interested, and we became project 7 out of 6 projects. And I think it was, just that whole, it was a real team effort. There was people in economic regeneration, there was people from the community, there was myself in the arts service, there was Biennial. There was a real sort of momentum of support for the project, and I think that's what makes it special, and that's what made it happen, because it is an absolutely amazing thing to happen on that hill when you consider the history of what's been there, and and what's there now is just phenomenal. It was really funny because we had the judges came down from Channel 4, Isabel Vasseur, I think Kevin Murray, who was involved in the sort of regeneration aspect of the project, and they sat in the Smithy Manor pub with the lads, and it was a rainy day, and they'd been up to the top of the hill, and they were quite sceptical at the time, and they said, we'll never get this done in the time scale that you're proposing. And one of the lads popped up with, if you've got a team of miners behind you, you can do anything. And I think that stuck in their heads in the end, and it turned out to be true that, people from St. Helens, very tenacious, very hard-working, and have a lot of focus. And I think that and their creativity is something that will be the real legacy of the project, actually. And there's loads of things that we can do with it. There's a whole opportunity for more public art on that site. You know, it's 20 years' time, it'll be a lush forest, and it needs to be a place that people are going to continue visiting and really keeping that exciting and keeping things going on. I'd like to see a whole forest of heads in there, forest of dreams, you know, something to come back to every year and to be a real highlight of the Northwest.